And we're live. Welcome to Whiskey Watches and Wheels, the #1 podcast in Hooker, Oklahoma.
Nice.
Tonight, me and the boys are going to give you guys a phenomenal episode. Boys, introduce yourselves.
I'm Casey.
I'm James.
I'm Kevin, and I'm back.
Kevin is back. Last week, Kevin was absent,
baby.
as you guys noticed. He is back in full force. Happy to have him. How's everyone doing tonight?
Oh, great.
That good, huh?
Fine.
Oh, great.
Listen, this is my
another
one
travel
night
story?
of joy. No travel stories this week. No travel stories this week.
It's unfortunate. I think you need to travel more so we can hear it.
Well,
I think so too. I had a blast. I was listening to that. I was telling the guys I was listening to that episode today at work, at my desk with everybody around me, and I was laughing pretty good.
That's great. Well, I have to go in a couple weeks. I'll be in Vegas and then back in Dallas after that. I got like 4 more trips to Dallas this year, so I'm sure there will more trips will ensue.
Southwest to Vegas. I'm sure that's epic on the flight home, at least.
Oh man, going out there, it's going to be okay. It's we leave at 8:30 in the morning. Coming back though, we don't land till like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, so it'll be fun.
There's going to be a ton of hungover assholes.
And of course, coming from Orlando, I gain 3 hours going there, but I lose 3 hours coming back. So it's going to suck, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't like the West Coast to East Coast switch.
No, it's never fun. Never fun at all. Well, for those listening, we have a really cool topic tonight. Something we all love watches. And we don't talk about watches enough on our podcast, at least lately. Lately, there's been a lot of automotive stuff, some bourbon stuff, but not a lot of watch stuff. So we're going to do a watch-centric podcast tonight. And a big topic for us is micro brands. Now, honestly, I don't know a ton about micro brands, but there is a ton of them out there through our research. I mean, a ton. So what we did was we kind of each went through and kind of picked out a couple micro brands that we found intriguing. And we're going to go through them with y'all as you're listening. We do not know what
to make them intriguing.
We're going to try to. I think some of them are intriguing. We were talking in our little group chat earlier, and James brought up a really good point that some of these micro brands are, thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. And do you want to pay that kind of money for something that you don't know they'll be in business a year from now? So we're just going to talk through it and see what each other picked out as we go. But before we do that, before we get into our micro brands, I almost did it again. We need to do our own individual wristwatch check because we skipped that last week and we don't want to do it this week. So who wants to get us started with what we're rocking tonight?
I can go. I'm wearing the Reykjavik Pilot watch.
I love that watch.
Yeah.
And
all right.
That's what you say about it.
He's worn it before.
We introduced it before. It's the 1919 from Iceland Reykjavik Pilot's watch. Only handmade watch in Iceland. So they claim. Exhibition back. Really enjoy it. Super cool. Accurate on time so far.
You're just
the reason you got to
stuck at 25 subscribers.
That's right, Casey.
Yeah,
not everybody watches all the episodes.
Right. We went from.
They should definitely do that.
When you did that watch, we had 21 subscribers on YouTube, and now we have 55. So there's, more people that might not have heard that before.
Go back and watch the episode. It's a fantastic watch.
It is a fantastic watch. Here, I'll go next. So I know it's a big. I'm the bright color guy. I like lots of bright colors.
Oh, you are? You're the bright color guy?
Go figure, right? So not as much as Kevin. Kevin and I are both bright color guys.
Yeah.
But I always get
I'm just the rainbow guy.
Yeah. He's the rainbow
Interesting.
guy. I'm the guy that has his car wrapped like a rainbow currently. But a lot of my watches tend to be bright primary colors. So tonight I am rocking my Orient Komatsu. I love this watch for a couple reasons. First of all, the model number is, I don't love Orients for their model numbers because they're long and just archaic, but it's model RA-AA000-3R19A.
LMNOP.
Exactly, no doubt. But here's what I do love about this watch.
It
First
pairs
of all,
well with a Apple Mouse.
It does pair well. Listen, not everyone has really cool Art Deco shit in their desk, James, like you do, man. Nobody has. I'm sorry, I don't own a camera from like 1923 that I can put a watch up against. I don't have that kind of.
That I had in high school. Go ahead,
Yeah,
say it.
exactly. With that big ass flash, with the hood over your head, to take a picture. But what I love about this watch, for one, for people that don't know, Orient is owned by Seiko, so you get all the Seiko quality there. It's using the caliber F6 922, which is an automatic movement, phenomenal movement, keeps really great time. It's got a 40-hour power reserve, sapphire crystal, screw down crown, 41 millimeter stainless steel case. It has a lot of features that you would find in a $500, $600, $700 watch. Yet you can get this watch right now on Amazon for like $222. It's just a great daily beater. It's got Seiko quality to it, but because it's Orient, it's even, a lower price point than Seiko's, and a lot of Seiko's are affordable. So it's just a really good watch for what you're getting.
I do like this watch. I will say I don't like the Orient logo. It's kind of like this JS watch logo. I think it's too much. I think the logo on my watch is too much as well. And this one kind of reminds me of it. It's just a little much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very Japanese in the logo,
hence
but anyway,
the word Orient.
Yeah, hence the word Orient. All right,
nailed it.
So who's up next?
James.
Let's see here. I will share my screen real quick.
Waiting on you.
So, yeah. So I have a Seiko. Of course, it's a 6139-7100 automatic chronograph, known as the Stormtrooper or a helmet or UFO, but this one's from March 1977 with a rare white dial variant. I love the minimalist black and white, no color on that. And then it's attached to the original fishbone bracelet, which is
nice
for Kevin's benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But there is Darth Vader variant with a black dial with a yellow, gold, and green trim. So,
oh, wow.
Yep.
Again, that one's such a classic. I love that one.
He does good.
Thanks.
Kevin,
So
what you got, buddy?
on episode 2, I bought a piece of shit watch. It was S&J 025, which was the repop of the Arnie. And now I have the legit Arnie.
Yes.
Which
is the real deal Holyfield.
558-5000. This one was made in September of 82. This watch is called the Arnie because it was in Commando, Predator. I don't know how many movies he had. Back then when he was just starting out, other than Conan, the Barbarian, he was wearing this particular watch. Found a great, so when I bought the watch, it did not come with a band, but luckily for me, they make a Seiko band. Qualities
similar,
yeah. I think they just changed a little bit on it, but it's the same. Everything's the same on it. So I love the watch. The dial on it is like, let's see if I can zoom in on this dial here.
Is that your new daily?
No, it's definitely not my. What happened here?
You got blown out.
I think we really got to figure out how to flip the image and inverse
it. Like that?
Oh, there you go. Yes.
So you've known how to do that the entire time, and yet your watch is always fucking backwards.
Well, on my screen, it's the opposite.
Okay, so no. So on the actual episode,
so it's for Kevin's
benefit,
right?
Yeah. So sorry guys. Now I know.
Right. Your Rolex that you showed on the Rolex episode was looked like a right-handed because it wasn't a left-handed; it was backwards.
Oh, okay. So I'll change it. The bezel on this is like amazing. There's no cracks on the I guess I don't know what you call it, the casing, the plastic casing on it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal watch. I got it at a good deal.
Is that plastic casing or is that a metal casing like a tuna?
It's a plastic one.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yes. So it's very hard to change the time and stuff like that. You got to do all this I had to read the instructions because you have to like pull this and push this and I think
instructions. I'm out.
Yeah, yeah. So cool watch though, but I like it a lot. Like I actually have been wearing this one. The band is a little bulky, kind of because the band kind of comes around. Which I'm actually, when you guys start talking, I'm going to take this watch off because my daughter gives me shit all the time. She's like, everybody does this, and you just put yours on your whatever, and I'm like, so I actually wearing it, but I put it on the board because I'm not taking pictures. But okay. So.
Oh, I love it. So, well, that's freaking awesome, man. Well, like I said, I'm excited about tonight's episode with all these micro brands. There's so much really cool stuff out there, and a lot of these I didn't know a lot about. Starting doing the research, and we'd found an article online. Shout out to Teddy Baltazar, who's had a top 60 micro brands out there. So we kind of started there and went down the rabbit hole, at least I did, and started finding a lot of others out there that I just found intriguing. So I think only maybe one of mine was actually on his list.
Wait. We're talking micro brand watches? I thought we were talking micro breweries. I got a list of micro breweries.
Oh, well, you're well, I guess 3 out of 4 will be correct. Oh, I love it. So
I thought I was talking about micro machines. So
all IPA.
There you go. Micro machines. That guy talks so fast. Remember that? Now the young people listening will have no clue what we're talking about, but that dude talks so fast. Talks faster than me.
What's the chance that we have someone young actually listening right now?
I don't know. Casey,
0.
do you even know what micro machines
Savannah?
are? Let's Casey, do you know what micro machines
1.
are?
Yes, I had them. I had.
Oh, you had micro machines? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The little guy that looked like the Time to Make the Donuts guy talked really fast. So, all right. So who wants to start on their micro brands? Who wants to get us going? Okay,
I
then
think
I will.
Casey does. Oh, okay. Go for it.
But Casey said he doesn't want to do it because he
Yeah,
wants
he
to see
said
what we're doing
he didn't want to
first.
go first. So he's that kid that wants to. Someone
All
else
right, I'll
to
go
model
first.
after.
I'll go first because I'm gonna speak fast here. Let's see
Okay.
here. Let me share my screen here because I don't know shit about this stuff here. So let's
Well,
see
none of us
here.
do. That's the fun part about this. We're going to talk about,
Sure.
and learn together because some of these I wouldn't mind owning, but then some of them at the dollar amount, I'm thinking, why would I pay that for that when I can get, something mainstream at the same price?
So this is one
Son
of the
of a-
micro. Is that what you picked? So Brew Watch. I picked this particular one. I may get this one. It kind of reminds me of a Tag Montreal or Cortina.
Yeah.
So just, and it says right here, classic silent case. I'm sure it's a quartz watch. Let's see, watch.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I mean, for that kind of price, quartz right there, hybrid quartz.
Is that quartz or mecha quartz? ESE mega quartz.
Oh,
So-
gosh.
Mecha quartz.
What's the difference?
What's the damn difference? It says
What-
Mecca
it
in
has-
front of it.
No.
But
no.
the backing's
So
pretty
the Mecha
cool.
Quartz,
Mhm.
hold on one
Go ahead and
sec.
talk.
A Mecha Quartz is a hybrid movement that contains both a quartz module and battery, but has some of the levers and gears that make up a traditional mechanical watch. So if you're into
So they
micro brews or micro brands, the majority are going to have these Mecha Quartz movements based on the pricing and such,
Interesting.
or they will have a Seiko movement or a Miata
Mhm.
movement. So
Interesting.
essentially, we're all getting or looking at cool Japanese watches.
Oops, so that was
Absolutely.
the same ones. So let me go stop this one and let me go to screen. And the next one's going to be this one here. Okay. This is another one. So,
Candy
fair.
cane.
Yeah. So I like this one because it reminds me of a Seiko yacht timer.
Mhm.
Also I'm not a tag collector. I have a couple of them, but I just like the look of it. A little kind of pricey. And I don't know if this is you guys can see the screen here, but I don't know if this is a quartz watch or an automatic watch. It just says chronograph. Let's see
For
what
that
we got here.
price, I would say that it's
It
a
better be.
It is automatic, 23 joules,
Automatic.
impressive,
Mm-hmm.
63 hour preserve, 4 hertz beat rate. So,
So-
nice watch.
It is, but here's my issue with that watch. All right?
Mhm.
So it's
Look, man, do I get to talk shit about your watches?
of course
Yes.
you do, absolutely.
Okay,
So it's
perfect.
but you'll hear my
Look.
point. No, it's
Clear
beautiful.
back.
It's beautiful, right? But on the
Ooh.
face, the dial, when you look at it, it's $2,000.
Mhm.
I can buy a white, what is it? The Omega Moon Swatch, and it
Yep.
looks very similar to that.
Yeah, but
They have
that's a quartz watch, isn't it?
That's a
It-
quartz
it
Seiko.
is.
A quartz Swatch
know.
watch.
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
$300
I think me and James have one, but I mean,
Yeah. Right.
okay.
I'm just
You
saying,
know-
aesthetically
you know that-
speaking, it's very similar.
Yeah, I agree with that. But part of wearing these things is how it feels in your hand, how it feels on your wrist. And a
No doubt.
quartz watch, just a simple basic quartz watch doesn't feel the same as a.
It doesn't
as
have
an
the weight.
automatic.
Well,
Yeah.
But these are micro brands. So what place are you going to be able to go to? I saw most micro brands. You don't go to a retail store usually, but they don't have the capital to have retail stores. So of them, you're not going to be able to touch and feel and stuff like that.
Very few of them have a brick and mortar location. So.
Right.
mm-hmm.
So I picked 3. So that's so my next one. Let's see here. Is going to be this one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's not out yet.
Yeah.
Underdog.
Thankfully,
The one thing I don't like they don't they put it's under D and then the number 0. But whatever. So pre-order. I'm not a big fan of pre-order, but look, it is a
Beautiful back.
Yeah. I mean, for $600.
Yeah, that's
That
a beautiful
looks
exhibition
damn-
case. Yeah.
Well, it is beautiful, and it has a ton of jewels, and we might even talk about jewels later on after we get done with all this.
yeah, but I don't know. I'd wear it backwards because the back looks better than the front.
It does. Which you saying that now that I see that, I mean, we're gonna go here. They only got a couple watches here, the 2 series,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Out of that whole list, I find these to be almost offensively ugly.
James, was this the one that you said in our text thread today that was the ugly one?
Yeah, I can't relate to a single one of their watches.
Faces.
Well, I will tell you
Yeah.
guys this though. With that watch here, oh yeah, the pizza one's disgusting. Like they have a pizza watch is so nasty. It's not even.
I bought my
working.
daughter one for Christmas. Not this brand, but essentially kind of the pizza watch, and I can tell you it was a fraction of the price.
Trash.
Let me see what you're looking at. Yo, that's dog shit. But what about like the Desert Sky Gen 2 or the Goofy Panda Gen 2?
How about this one? Do you like this one,
in
James?
the 01 series. See, I like that.
What the hell? $16,000. There's no way. 16,000
I
pounds.
don't like that.
Yeah,
But look, if you pull up, there.
That dude's probably designed the watch to some kid.
It was a crayon project.
Oh
No,
gosh,
their regular 01 series. There's the watermelon, which I think is awful. But then there's Desert Sky, which has got like a blue sky blue background and a tan chrono and tan.
But I don't think they make that watch anymore. So once they
It
only make
says
some,
it's
here they are.
restock coming.
Yeah.
Oh, Desert Sky.
Yeah, there
So
you
this
go.
is it right
and
here.
the Goofy Panda next to it there. I think those two are acceptable. I like the different
Oh, okay.
color chrono aspect. But
So
the two,
I was. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the two on the ends are fucking stupid.
Yeah, but for $600, I mean that's
the
movement alone is worth $600.
I mean, well, it is assembled in Great Britain, so it's probably like a fucking Lotus. So probably not. I don't know.
it's a unibody watch.
Start falling apart.
A lot of repairs.
Exactly. You just go into the service center all the time. I did find this watch. I was taking a shit today.
Interesting.
To let you guys know.
Yeah.
And so you guys have to help me find it if you guys come across it. It's a clear back watch. I think it's called no, the watch.
Okay.
I said watch. It's called a Sanitarium or Saturn something. So it's a clear watch.
Okay.
It had like a Saturn orange, and the numbers were raised, so it was clear. But when you hit a light or something, it turns like almost like a neon color. It was $660, and then I stopped and went to go back and refreshed it. And I've been searching.
You went to wipe and it was gone when he got back.
Yeah, it's like
That's enough of that. That's for sure.
so. So anyways, I was looking at the watch, but it looked almost like Art Deco. Like the numbers were like blue, and then it had like this big, like it looked like Saturn with like I said, clear back, and it was kind of thick. It looks so neat. And I was going to show it to James and see if he has heard of it. And I looked for it and looked for it. Oh, pop pop up as soon as we get in with the podcast because they'll, Google's or Instagram's listening.
Hear you
Listen to you.
Yeah, but those are the three that I picked. I kind of agree with you guys. I do like that. Like James said, I would like to flip that watch, that watermelon one.
Yeah.
I liked it because I think if somebody saw like pink or green, they would probably go, oh, like when I wear my regatta, just the colors, they pop, and everyone asks me about it. Same thing with a Pogue.
Yeah, but it's a coherent design, and by the time you raise your wrist and they realize it's a fucking watermelon, they've already started moving on.
It's a watermelon.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be a negative Betty, but
so I guess
those watches are ugly.
Scratch that off of your Christmas list this year.
Well, what's the retail value?
It's $600.
James is getting a watermelon watch for Christmas.
Scratch off.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So those are my watches. I just looked at them strictly for
that's good
aesthetic
fun
purposes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You guys in your color.
You did good though.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
James,
come on. I'm
ready to see this. James used to be like, so I got this.
What's that?
As a designer, I love the look of this watch. It's so nice.
James was
look at the movements.
No,
first on my list is a guy, Samuel Adams.
Yeah, no. So I believe that I believe you nailed it. No, I think you nailed it in a group chat as far as, well, these are the watches James are going to pick. Well, you kind of got a few of them.
Did it already say
I
water?
like that watch.
Right.
It's
Okay,
already got water damage.
This is great.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Matt.
Oh, God. So this is Autodromo, and they are, as the majority of these go, they're race-inspired watches. This is the limited edition Vic Elford. This came out in 2013, and it was in the 625 to 775 range, depending on which one you got. But
so you can't buy these watches anymore? The ones
some
that
of them
you
you can.
Okay.
No, that's not.
I'm not gonna lie. I looked at I had the Autodromo in my tabs here and clicked out of it because I thought a lot of their stuff that was available like currently was pretty boring. But I really like this one.
I think that out of all of these, as you go through, there's going to be something that appeals to each one of us or doesn't appeal to us.
I like the band too because it is very race car seat driven.
And Autodromo, they've done a great job. I think I know they're a micro brand, but they've been around a while, right? So
they have been around a while. And,
this is one of their newer ones, which I thought was quite nice as well. This is the Group B series 2 automatic, inspired by the Group B rally cars, obviously. And this runs you about $975, and it has the Mayada 9015 automatic movement.
I like it.
Very Art Deco.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Not my cup of tea, but it's a
Sure.
Ooh, I like a lot.
Okay, so this is Stratton. This is Stratton.
Yep.
And once again, race inspired. I think this is just, it's got a little Monaco touch. It's got a little Seiko touch to it, but inspired by a 77 Alfa Romeo.
He can keep on top
Feta
of
GT. So $499 quartz, $1199 automatic. But I think it's pretty sharp.
That's the price points: $499 quartz or $1199 automatic.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So here's another version, the Stratton Synchro. This is a quartz only, $499. So
you've liked them for a while. You turned me onto their Instagram, and they got some really cool stuff on their Instagram.
Yeah.
So do you guys? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kevin.
Do you guys feel that like this reminds me? I have a tag that looks kind of like this red one. It's a black one.
Well,
do you feel
that's
like
the problem
between the
with
watches
all of
that
them.
I picked? Yeah, like I picked and you picked, and like they kind of Tag did like they're kind of the trendsetter for the race like Monaco style. I know Seiko did it as well, but when I see this, I definitely think like if I saw that on your wrist, I would be like, "Hey, is that a tag?" And you would say, "No, it's not. This is a da 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 da."
Well,
I think that's the rub.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating at
but
all.
for me, doing this exercise, going through everything, it was an exercise of this watch looks like this original watch, and for this price point, why don't I just go buy the original watch? That's my problem with all of these, and the fact that they're mostly mecha quartz, right? And if you do buy an automatic, it's not going to be cheap.
No.
So, are these throwaway watches? I think I'd rather spend the $600 on a vintage Seiko. But that's me.
Right.
That's and to each his own, and I'm fine with that. But I got a couple more.
Kevin,
here.
A lot of tags were quartz watches too.
Well, what I find ironic though is tag in the watch collecting world, tag really gets panned a lot. It's not, it's not, there's a lot of people like, I love tag, but there's a lot of collectors that pan tag and do not like tag. So to see these other companies, not copying, but paying homage to those designs, I find ironic,
Yeah. This is another one here. This is a VAR watch. I think they started around 2016. American. Yeah. It's an American watch company. This runs you about $700, automatic. It's got a Japanese movement, and it's assembled in the USA. But I think it's pretty sharp. I think that's a nice look on the wrist there.
It's kind of a mix between like a diver and
another one. I thought this one was really nice.
Just the other day, speed timer, Seiko speed timer type deal.
Ooh, that's nice.
This one? Yeah, this is.
I like the dial a lot.
But Batavi.
So that one is hand turned, isn't it? Isn't that one like hand turned? Yeah, like
I believe
so many times.
Yeah.
Yes. So
30,000 times or some shit like that.
Yeah. So this is a Batavi Atelier salmon. So it's about $450.
Oh wow, that's actually much more affordable than I thought.
3D printed, Kevin. Fish scale pattern.
That's not the one I was thinking of.
Okay, so automatic movement. So it's got an automatic
really
movement
good price,
for $450. That's a good price.
Yeah,
so especially for the uniqueness of it.
Yeah, designed in the Netherlands and manufactured in Hong Kong and France. There's a blue version of it.
Oh, I like that.
That's cool.
I like that. Yeah. Sure.
And then I've got one more here. Let me zoom in for you right here. So this is the Massena Labs. Started in 2018, the Uniracer Safari. This one runs you $3,500, but it does have a Swiss made movement. So there's your price difference.
Yeah, and I really like these. I had this one on my list as well. I found that I really like these chronos with the different color subdials. They really stick out to me. I really enjoy that.
I had a tough time going through these and finding, besides the first two I showed you, I've known about those for years, but to find ones that had something unique about them that doesn't look like a copy, that was my struggle.
Yeah. Well, so many of these companies, you mentioned it earlier, so many of them use Seiko's movements or Miyota. So a lot of them, a lot of these micro brands tend to look like vintage or just regular Seikos. So I have a hard time spending the money for that when I can just go out and buy a Seiko, but I digress.
Casey, since you have some that look like James, who you picked the one.
Yeah. So, I'm not very good at this yet. So a couple of these that I really liked are similar to what you all chose. But I'll choose a couple different ones here as well. I like these Dan Henrys. I like the colors. I like the dive aspect. I think they look a little chunky.
Seiko feel.
Yeah, very Seiko feel. Yeah, and obviously being newer to the Seiko world, I'm kind of partial to those. So I really enjoyed those or that Dan Henry.
Real quick, Casey, while you're pulling up your next one. So I've been following Dan Henry for a long time. I didn't put it on my list, but I actually posted up a Dan Henry watch on our Instagram a month or so ago. I really like their case backs. They put a lot of intricacy into the case backs. They make really good affordable watches, and their automatic movements. Again, it's like everything else. It's Miyota or I think they're using
No, they're
Miyota
using
automatic.
Seiko movements.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
So at one point in time they were using Miyota or they were quartz.
So, and I think that's a good point. Just to, let me pull this right back up. Seiko movement. Hello, come on, let's go. But you can see here the price point is unbelievable. $310.
Well, and you get a second band and a watch roll with every one of their watches.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of
It's a lot of bang for the buck.
money for the or
But
a lot of watch for the money.
let's talk about that real quick, because we're using the word Seiko movement, and as I have found, you can have Seiko movements in China, you can have Seiko movements in Malaysia, you can have Seiko movements in Singapore, and you can have Seiko movements in Japan. While I personally think dealing with all of those countries in my business, the QC is probably a lot more, and the factories as far as clean room and stuff like that. This is my personal opinion. I've never been to any of these. I would think the Seiko in Japan, that's probably really why they demand a higher price point. And I dare to even say that I wouldn't even think that the movement would be made if it's a Chinese, that they're taking the Seiko parts and assembling them in China. No, I think everything is made and they're just using the name. Again, this is our podcast. There's no facts as far as this is concerned.
Our personal feelings.
So I just think that, I've seen going on some of the forums and stuff like that. Anytime somebody brings up a Malaysia or a Singapore or a Chinese, they've had a lot more problems with those particular watches than they do with something made in Japan.
You're right, and but at least they're using movements for the most part. At least all the ones from Miyota or Seiko. It's not like they're putting in a Seagull, and nothing against Seagull. Seagull, in the beginning were just knockoffs. They're made in China. They actually make really decent movements now, from what I understand. But at least they're trying to go with quality movements. I mean,
but that's what I'm talking about. How do we know it's quality? Because if it's a Seiko name but made in China, I mean, we're talking as a machinist, 10,000ths makes it. I mean, when you have these little parts that are so close together, that 10,000ths or whatever, that's going to wear on jewels. It's going to wear on a lot of different parts. I mean, we're talking very precision parts there, whereas there's got to be a reason. That's why let's say a Swiss watch is so much more for a automatic than a, I don't want to say Seiko, but some other watches. I think it's just the QC and the materials and stuff like that. There's, again, I'm not a, what's it called, horologist.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have the mask and everything, as you guys know, but
you play the part really well.
Yes, but there's got to be a reason why there is something. If it's a 23 jewel from Japan, a 23 jewel from China, even though it's under the Seiko name, and a 23 jewel from Swiss, what's the difference? And it's got to be QC and the tolerances.
No doubt, but you look at these micro brands, and I have to, I look at the four of us. All right, if we want to go out for whatever reason and start our own watch brand, how do you fucking start? I mean, at some point in time, you're gonna have to
buy a
figure
movement
this
off
out.
the shelf.
And you're gonna have to buy parts off the shelf and start putting them together, and then you're gonna start with you want to be very budget conscious, because no one's gonna spend $1,000 on someone you've never made anything. So you start, and you're right, they're probably using something from Malaysia or something that's the cheapest off the shelf, and then as their brand progresses, and people they do get a following, then they can start putting money in a little more. Perfect example. Again, I know we talk about his podcast a lot, but Matt Fair and the Smoking Tire, he partnered up with Notice. Now, Notice, had never really made any watches above, $300 or $400, but he partnered with him to make a couple watches, and through his notoriety and everything else, plus they went through and they did higher grade quality parts, but those new brand watches sold for I think it was $1,000. And so it takes time. You got to build the brand, for like anything
but
else.
Matt got $600 of those.
Well, hey, it's half and half, man.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, Casey, was that
Matt?
you got more?
No, I got some more.
Good.
Let's see. This
Didn't
one
mean to Shanghai your
it's okay.
your
It's
stuff.
okay. Screen.
Let's go, Boomer.
I know, right? Here we go. Reservoir. I thought the Reservoir was cool, just because the face was a little different, the movement was a little different. It's very car inspired. You can see in the names, but just this aspect of the hours sweeping from 0 to 6, and then down here you have the battery or the.
Is that supposed to be a rev limiter type of thing?
Yes. Yeah.
I saw that on probably half a dozen of these watches as I was perusing through. So
you can see the price point's not crazy, like $400, a little over $400. Let me find the movement.
Well, that doesn't look like $400. Looks like 4,800
yen.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No, it's in USD. It's in USD.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's an expensive watch. But here's the movement. It is automatic, 56-hour power reserve, which is pretty wild. Swiss made. So it's it seems to be a well made watch, and it's different. If you're very car centric, which I know most we are, at least, the sweep is the hand movement rather is different, right? And kind of cool and different.
How do you tell the fucking time though? I mean, does it sweep back to 0 after it gets to 6?
Yeah, kind of like how a regatta watch would work.
Yeah.
So what do you think of their logo taking up so much?
Yeah, I don't like that. I think the logo should be smaller, but it is what it is. Stratton, I think somebody pointed this out, but I think that their watches are pretty cool. They remind me a lot of these. Remind me more of like the Seiko Regatta models.
Can you click on it and let me look at that Regatta one there? That's your. Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's good looking.
It's good looking.
I just like the Seiko Classic Regatta. The colors pop to me. And I think it's really cool. But again, at this price point, especially being a movement, I'm probably going to buy a Seiko Regatta.
Right.
But for
what's
something
interesting, what's interesting is that you were making fun of all the color, but we're all picking great color watches.
No. I mean, I'm attracted to the color. I really am.
Yeah, I like this one as well.
This is cool. Different. That's a different cool design. But being a quartz, I think that's again, I'm new to this, but I think I rather have an automatic movement. But that's pretty cool. And then I'll just do one more, and let's see which one we're going to choose. How about this one? MK2s. I think these are very simple, almost like field watches. I like some of the case designs are cool and different. Not too expensive automatics. Let me pull up something else here. There's Stingray. But they look like a good everyday watch.
Looks like a 50 fathoms.
Seiko.
It really does.
What?
50 fathoms. I came across this earlier and I was like, that's a 50 fathoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know what that is. That would be where you can tell us what it is. James must be, his internet must be going out again.
He said he's got a storm going, so.
Yeah. But you can see they're Japanese. Here's the movement. They're automatic. So I think, they're Japanese made, which, as we just noted, I think is important. We know that when we're looking for kind of the SKX series of the Seikos, we're looking for the ones that are made in Japan in general. And so I think that they seem to be a decent watch.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
The style is very
my
similar to the some of the Seikos that I just got.
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
wife's used to work with somebody, and he's a big watch collector. But she actually asked me maybe we should have him on. His name's James too, I believe, and I think he
Got to be a
collected a
good
lot
guy.
of.
It's got to
Yeah,
be a good guy.
I
Probably
think he
good looking
collected.
too.
Okay. I think he collects a lot of micro brands, so I might reach out to him and ask
That'd be
him
cool.
what kind of watches he has. He showed me some of his collection, and to be honest, I knew none of what I was looking at, so nothing like popped up in my face that it was like Seiko or anything of the mainstream.
Well, here's a
So-
question for you. Here's a question. Do you think these micro brands are popular, one, because of the price point versus the Omegas, the Rolexes, etc., and not realizing that there's a lot of other very good, affordable watches like a Hamilton, right? That are
Mhm.
quality. Is it just that they have a different appeal because they're inspired by what has already happened?
I think honestly, it's a combination. I think a lot of people say it's me going out and buying these watches. You may not know about the OGs, so you just see a cool design, or you see that it's a small local brand, maybe to you like Shinola or whatever, and you're like, I want to support this random dude or this random gal that's local to me. But these designs, as you're saying, are coming from classic designs that maybe you can't afford. Like some of these tags, like some of these square,
Sure.
kind of Carrera style watches. That's a beautiful design, but I don't know that I can afford a Carrera. So you pick up one of these, and you're kind of in the game without having to spend all the money, and you're helping a local small American, British, etc. Business kind of get up and going.
I
When
agree
I-
with Casey because of, like he said, I think a lot of it has to do with time. True. I think for the most part, a lot of people aren't watch collectors and they just see something that's cool with Instagram and Facebook and hey, $300. I like the way that looks.
Yeah. Do you remember
ahead,
when
James.
Kickstarter? Do you remember when Kickstarter was the big deal? There was a lot of watches on there when it was first getting going, and that was early in my journey, actually the beginning of it, and I wound up buying a couple of them as a Kickstarter backer. And really, what drew me was the unique designs that you weren't seeing in the mainstream. But once you got into it more, then other things show up, right? And I think Casey's finding that now when you have a group that can give you some advice or give you a lead or say, have you seen this? Check this out. So I guess it's just a natural progression, right? So will these micro brands wind up being a gateway to other watches? Who knows?
Well, I think you make a good point. I attribute the micro brands as like a fashion watch plus. Someone that doesn't want to walk into a Macy's and get a Michael Kors or get a Fossil or get something that is let's face facts, not really a great watch. A lot
They're
more
fun.
expensive
Fossils
than really
are
what
fun,
you're
just
getting.
like swatches are fun.
They are. They're not. I'm not panning them. I am panning Michael Kors because they're garbage. But
I agree.
I mean they are. So but I mean for someone that wants something a little more unique, and it's a gateway watch. Something that's going to one step up, and they can start getting into it without a lot of money and get into watch collecting. You have a unique watch box where they don't all look the same. It serves a purpose.
I think,
and I think there's. Go ahead, Casey.
I think that you're spot on with that. That somebody who does just a little bit of research, who doesn't just go to the big box store and walk in and say, "Oh, I want, I have $500. What watch can I get?" Someone who wants to do something a little different, who wants to do a little bit of research. That's how you'll find the. I mean, that's how you'll find these micro brands, right? He's doing a little bit of research. I want a pilot's watch. I like a dive watch. I want, to sport a local watch brand, an American made, etc. watch brand. And that's how you'll find these. But then exactly what you're saying, it is a gateway because then you'll find oh, I could buy this 1974 vintage Seiko
Mhm.
that created this design. And yeah, I'm going to spend $1,000 versus $500, but I'll have the original design.
Right.
Right.
And you know, obviously we all find that very cool and different.
Right.
Mhm.
For me, I see these micro brands. I'm comfortable purchasing those for $300 to $700. Right.
James,
But
I got a question
if-
for you. Do you
Yeah,
feel that the micro brands, what percentage do you think are buying these watches? People that just like the way they look, or actually people like us that are a little educated, some more than others, that, oh, I like that because it recognized. What's percentage you think, now with Instagram and Facebook?
I think it's across the board because,
Okay.
Friends of mine are buying them and they have Omegas and Rolexes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think it's more of
go
a
with-
daily or
Yeah, I can
I
go
don't
with
know. I
that.
think there's a story for every type of person out there.
But
Okay.
who's buying? And this is an honest question. But who's buying the $5,000 micro brand watch?
That's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
I don't believe I would be comfortable doing anything like that.
Even being Japanese made and being a Japanese movement, I agree with that. $5,000. I mean, you're almost to say a Rolex Explorer.
Well, that might be just a hipster guy that just, it's $5,000 and he doesn't know shit about watches and he just throws it down because he thinks it's $5,000. It must be quality. So,
Well, here's who buys it. The Kevin O'Learys. All right, guys that have, the guys that have watch collections. I mean, they have hundreds of watches. They're tired of everything else. They already have all the Rolexes and all the Omegas and all whatever. So, and for someone like that, $5,000 is the same, no different than us spending $300 on a watch.
Are you banking your brand on Mr. Wonderful finding your website and buying your 5K watch?
I guess you have to do the research. I mean, if you have someone who is not buying, a case off the shelf,
business model. If that's your thing.
Well, no, you're right. You're right.
I mean, that's terrible.
But you have to pay for quality.
It's like art. It's like art. I mean, I think people, if you put a big price tag on it, somebody's going to come and buy it.
Sure. But one of the driving factors here is that these micro brands are working off of the limited edition economy, right? So look at the sites that you went through. Half of them are sold out. Some of them are coming back. Some of them may not come back. It's just like every other thing out there that has to be a limited edition at this point. So is a solid Seiko that's costing you $500, $700 that's going to last you a lifetime? Is that $500 to $700 micro brand that price based on just running 200 to 500 of these watches when the Seiko watch is lower priced because they make so many of them?
But Seiko's getting on that game too, because I went to...
Everyone is.
Yeah, everybody's... Yep.
Well,
Matt, what you got, Matt?
So I want to make this point real quick. So look at the micro brands. Like we're all gearheads, all right. So yes, I can go out and spend $100,000 on a 911, or I can spend $500,000 on a Singer. But Singers,
you're low on both,
right? So so I'm making a point. So I can go buy the original one that the Singer was designed off of, but that doesn't mean I don't know. It's just it's again low volume. So one of those things.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I got.
Let's put your watches up so we can talk shit about them. Come on.
You can. So first one. Okay. As we're talking about Porsche. All right. So the first brand I picked is a German brand called Heinrich.
Oh my God. Horse shit.
Yep, that's all right. So Heinrich was founded in 2020 by the game named Wolfgang Heinrich. All right. The watches are all designed in Stuttgart, but they're built in Pforzheim. They're all Swiss movements.
Hey, the 12 is at 9, by the way, on your phone.
Yeah. And what I liked about I love
damn
his
micro
vision
brands.
statement. Yes. But I loved his vision statement though, because his vision statement said,
That's cool.
his vision was was to restore the originality of the 70s and reinvent the unique and unconventional design era.
That looks
like
like
it.
an Art Deco 1950s
But they
or
Right.
40s.
all said that, Matt. They all said that with different words.
I understand that, but I just thought his designs were really cool. And
Modern interpretation of a classic.
What's price
absolutely.
points?
Got it.
What are the
price points? Are about $2,500.
They're sweet though.
Jeez.
Yeah, see,
They look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't
But
lie. The JS watch I'm wearing was a little bit more than that. So
We know how much it was. Just say how much it was. Come on. I just threw a Rolex on there a couple weeks ago.
I think it was
How
like
much was your watch?
I think it was like $2,700.
Okay, so
So that's finding a small independent brand,
I like
right?
that.
And
handmade. Right?
handmade,
It's handmade.
Right.
but there was an experience attached to it, right? Like I was
100%.
in Iceland. So if I'm just going on the interwebs and these designs that you're showing, Matt, are super cool. I really do like them.
Mhm.
But I am having trouble. That's kind of got the oak, the Patek oak
A
feel
little
with
bit.
the
It's
screws.
round, not octagonal, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see mentally, how am I going to get to putting my credit card down for $2,500 for.
Well,
for
I
these?
guess you look at it in these terms right here. So some of the other ones that I'm going to have here are, under $1,000 on other brands. I mean, you look at the Dan Henry that are $300. You're looking at watches with, some automatic, some quartz movements, casings. It's literally an off-the-shelf watch. They're piecemealing cases and dials and this and that for everything. Whereas a watch like this is handmade, hand designed in-house, hand tooled. So again, there's going to be a different level of cost there when you're low volume. Well, Kevin can speak to that when you're making parts by hand and low volume. There's going to be a cost differential there. That's that. And at the end of the day, cost is cost.
I like their designs though. And I don't mind their logo either. I think it's actually kind of cool. They got a crest in it, which is very
It's
very
sharp.
cool.
I like those watches. Really nice.
So the second brand that I had, since we all love, let's see here, I got here.
Okay, boomer. Shit.
Hold on, takes a second, man. I'm switching it over. So this is a Japanese company called Kirano, Kirano Tokyo.
All right.
And again, all Japanese movements, in-house movements. Actually, not in-house movements. I'm sorry, I take that back. They're using primarily, and all of their watches are using the Miyota 90 S5, but then all of their chronographs use the Seiko NE86.
Okay.
And
Quartz or automatic?
All automatics.
Automatic.
Okay. Yep. All
What price
automatics.
point are we talking about here?
These again, right around $1,000.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's an automatic.
Yeah.
It's automatic, and these are
I like
very
that.
very
Salmon
low.
dial.
Yep. Very low production.
Salmon Panda.
A lot of them were sold out. So, but I did find them on the secondary market. You have to do the conversion because again, they're all sold in yen, so you got to do the conversion over. But I just thought the designs were really really cool.
I think you did a lot of research while you were sitting on the plane getting potatoes
I did do a lot of
thrown
research
at
actually
you.
on the
Obviously,
thing.
yeah.
But I liked these dials a lot with this bright orange and the green. Big
To me,
surprise.
it is very Japanese.
Mhm.
I don't know what that really means, but it to
Like
me
a design
it's,
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Very
Design, the
Japanese.
numbers.
Yep.
yeah, it's very Japanese. I like the chronos more than I like the all of the salmon dial is kind of cool. Like
But it
that
kind
one,
of gives
I
me
really
a French feel too, a little bit.
That's
Mhm.
hot.
So, like
It
almost
looks
a
like an
Cartier.
alien. That one looks like an alien with the two
Yeah.
big eyes.
I like that one. That's probably my favorite
I
one.
like it.
All
Me too.
right. So, and then lastly, we're going to bring it home.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Where
Oh,
is
you're
that?
giving it away,
No, that's all right. I'm fine.
Jack Mason.
Jack Mason. Founded in 2015 by two guys, Peter Cho and Craig Carter.
No
and-
Jack or Mason.
Nope. assembled right in
That's
Dallas,
called
Texas.
branding, buddy.
So I found this because I spend so much time in Dallas, and these guys are right in Dallas, Texas. Two guys that wanted to start a brand, and so they had a really cool start. They literally started assembling watches, and like I said, piecemealing stuff, getting stuff together, and they bought an Airstream trailer and just started traveling, selling their goods. And so then they actually did open a brick and mortar shop that's in Dallas, and you can get there, and all of their watches are sub $1,000. They're all under $100,000. Some are even much lower than $1,000. And again, some of them
would get me.
Yeah. So,
I like
and
that.
again, these are very Seiko, Rolex. I mean, a GMT is a GMT. You know, it doesn't matter who's making the GMT. They all have a similar design aesthetic. Jubilee style bracelet. But I just like the fact that it was, American company. Yeah, American company right there in Dallas, Texas. And two guys that had a dream and wanted to start putting together some watches, and this is what they came up with. So really cool stuff. And so, yeah, that was my 3 brands that I found.
Nice.
I like it. You did a good job.
Good
I like
digging.
that you chose some different ones. And
Yeah,
all
good
these
digging.
people or all these brands have some good styles I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you didn't go with colors. You went with a very traditional.
I did went very traditional.
Surprising.
So, although the salmon dial on the Kirano Tokyo had me. I was when I was looking at photos,
That's nice.
that thing grabbed me there. So that was my 3.
So essentially, what I got out of this whole conversation is that we're not going to hang out with people that drive EVs and wear micro brands.
No, but
Basically,
if I could find for instance, I probably will buy one of these Jack Masons only because they are affordable. A lot of them very similar to Dan Henry you can get for $300-$400. And
that's
being
a hell
that
of a deal in my
that I'm in Dallas a lot and they're right there, I like the story.
Have you been to their shop yet?
I haven't, because when I'm at corporate for work, I'm there the entire day, and I'm usually flying in the day before, and I get in after dark, and then I fly out the next morning. So they're always
after
closed
dark
when I'm leaving.
Could be 5 o'clock or it could be 10 o'clock. I mean,
well,
after
this is
dark.
True, no. I usually get in around 8 o'clock or so, and by the time I get the rental and get to the hotel, it's already like 9 o'clock. So, and then I'm up early and I'm corporate the entire next day, and then I fly out the next morning. So I just never have time.
Well, you should take an extra half day.
I should, but they sell online. I can buy it online.
Yeah,
So,
but
you
it's
can't
the
feel
story.
it.
bro.
They can't hear it.
Exactly.
For the weight, we just talked about this, and this place has a store.
I know.
So hey, coming up tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I'm leaving, but we got. I know you guys talked about it on the last podcast. So
yes,
maybe 2 weeks. We'll have Amelia.
Let's pretend how it went. How did Amelia go? Because when this airs, Amelia, whatever happened.
No, don't worry. We're gonna take videos. We got videos. 3 of us are gonna be there.
Yep.
We'll take some videos. The weather's supposed to be a little shitty, but that's
we
Florida.
have
Hopefully it'll blow over.
We have a cardboard
50%
cutout
rain.
of Casey to bring along with us. We'll take photos.
Do that.
Well, it's gotta be better than last year. It's 50% chance rain. Last year was 100%. So
yeah. So for the audience doesn't know, there's an event, Radwood. So it's going to be 80s and 90s cars. So I'm curious to see what kind of watches people are going to have, because I'm actually going to wear a quartz. But I've been seeing a lot of our friends buy these Swatch watches that are like, the repops and colors and stuff like that, 90s colors.
For Radwood?
But for Radwood.
Yeah.
Our friend Ed, you guys know Ed Sheets. He just bought one. I was like, oh, that's a cool watch. But I'm curious to see, because I'm going to know who got that watch specifically, if it's an old watch or if it's a new watch, I don't. How many calculator watches? I think I should count.
Yeah.
How many calculator watches?
Yes.
You need a calculator to count?
Don't forget about the Seiko with it's got the whole fucking keyboard and the printer. If you see that one you definitely got to meet that person.
Count the Casios.
But I think I've seen a couple. I know one of our other friends, Mel. I think he has a Nintendo watch.
Oh, that's cool. Come on,
back in the
dude,
days.
You got to wear your fucking Pac-Man watch.
So how many?
Actually, I'm gonna let Aaron, our friend Aaron at P-Car Talk, he's gonna wear that watch, because I'm gonna wear that Blue Thunder watch. I don't know if I ever showed that watch. I bought I don't know what it is, Casio A500 or something like that. And it's from a movie, Blue Thunder. I'm gonna wear that watch. I was gonna wear my dad's watch, but from actually the 80s, but it's not. It doesn't pop.
I was saying, how many friends are participating in Radwood?
Probably like 10 of us. Because it's between Radwood and then what event are you going to? Same field, but I think they're separated. Cars and
Cars and
Caffeine?
Community. Yeah,
Cars and Community. But I took a look at signing up for Radwood, and it's like 2 different levels. So I guess there was like an auxiliary
So
area.
it's the same thing. No, it's the same thing. It's just VIP. You're getting to go in, I guess, premium parking.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get in first, pick the spot, and then the next one's going to be just any car. So, I know a couple guys that they got a car that they think it's a nice car. So they, I'm going to pay this extra money and get like
Is it a Corvette?
No, it has to. It could be. Now that I think about it, it's
80s
not all
Corvette.
Porsches. Could be 80s. So I'm actually right at the edge because my car is a 1980. But
Your
we'll
wife's
see.
car.
Last year they grouped all the Porsches together. They had the 964 that had the Vans livery on it and everything. So not 964, the 924.
Well,
so
I'm hoping that this year is good. Hopefully the weather.
Since it's going to be our last year.
Exactly.
I didn't know it was going to be my last year until I talked to you guys on the group chat, and I found it was going to be my last year.
Your last year, bro.
We're just getting tired of the nickel and dime thing. And
it's not nickel. It's more like
dollar and $10
fives
or
and tens. Yeah,
5s and 10s. Yes.
Well, nickel and dime and everything.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Go ahead.
Well, when I went to sign up and get tickets, because again, Radwood's free to spectators. You have to pay it if you want to present, but you're just going. It's free. But actually get into Cars and Community. And for those listening, Cars and Community. So the Concours d'Elegance at Amelia, Sunday's the big show. It's on the golf course. It's got all the cars laid out. But the Cars and Community is on the same field. And it's a lot of the same cars. It's just like I said, like a Cars and Coffee. But that you have to pay to get in, and it was $55 a head. So I paid $110 for me and my wife to go to that on Saturday.
Yeah. And that used to be free.
Free. Yeah. Everything was free except for Sunday. Mm-hmm. Now everything just showing. I'm like, you got to pay per blade of grass that you touch.
Yeah. So I looked at me and Aaron. We looked at Aaron with an A. We looked at the sheets of what's going to be an auction for a mod. What's it called? Mod something. They're going to have a lot of the heavy hitters, which naturally so. I mean, why would you drive your car all the way to Amelia when there's
Broad Arrow? Is that what you're talking about? Broad Arrow?
No, I looked at the other, which is RM cars that are going to be out there.
Yeah.
There's some heavy hitters for RM that they're going to have some premium cars. And, like I was saying, I've been to quite a bit of car collectors. I guess they're private collections. If I was me, I would take it to the Miami show because it's in my backyard instead of trucking it all the way down to, especially some of these cars are going to be, over $1 million. So we looked at, I think there's over 100 cars. I think that people like us, I think eventually it's going to be, and I hate to say this, you're going to have a lot of the Ferraris, the old, like, how do you say it, Matt? The Car d'Elegance or whatever.
Yes,
it's going to be a Pebble Beach. Amelia's going to be a Pebble Beach with the hats and the canes and the Jag and the Ferrari and stuff like that.
The smoking jacket.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's what that's going to turn into. And you know what? Hey, there was an article that James shared. Hey, that's let's go. So there's going to be some competition, and I think Miami's going to be the race cars, the cars that we probably like, opposed to
it'll skew younger, is what you're saying, right?
So opposed to the Jay Leno-ish.
Not going to have the 1920s Duesenberg, right?
Right.
No.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, well, when you guys mentioned in our group chat about it, when James put up there that it was going to be competing, and I said that was stupid. I did not realize. I mean, I knew that
earful, didn't you?
I did get an earful.
I'm like, fuck. That was
fuck.
severe,
excuse
too.
me for having an opinion. God damn. So, but I was like, I just didn't realize everything that was going on at Amelia. I mean, I knew the prices had gone up, but I didn't realize they had kicked out, RM Sotheby's, and I didn't, so then it made sense. I get it. So.
Well, I hope they also step up their food game this year. All right.
Oh yeah, it's always been
schlepping around after you spend $55.
Food.
Schlepping around for a shit hot
really
dog and chips for $35.
So
nah.
That brings up another point. When me and James used to go, we could go in Amelia. I mean, to the Ritz. We could go to the Omni. We could eat. now you have to have a lapel pin to even go into the restaurant. Now you can go to the, to go walk in the showroom and the conference center, because that's where they have the art dealers and watch dealers and stuff like that. But to get a drink, and I remember one of the best old fashions I've ever had was at the Ritz-Carlton. It was a smoked one. This was years ago, before anybody was really doing that. Coincidentally, it was with Buffalo Trace. But now, I mean, my palate's totally changed. Yes, but I still like Buffalo Trace.
Yeah,
but
of course.
You can't eat in the place. Omni, you can't eat there unless you're staying there. No sit down. There's the steakhouse. Everything has a reservation. There's that. What's that grocery store that or that gas station? Harry Cheaters.
Harry's Teeters.
You get a hot dog there, and then after that, you have to drive 10 miles to go to Ferdinand Beach, or any of the good, nice restaurants, and they're packed too. So Miami, I mean, I've been twice booked. I'm going on my soapbox here. Booked where I've booked hotels or Airbnbs or VRBO to get knocked out because they found out that's when the meal was going to be next year and raised the pricing up. So I am fed up.
I will give credit where credit's due. Last year was one of the first years that, it was raining. It was a shit show. But I never really paid attention to the food until last year. Works Reunion always does a fairly good job of having food trucks, and there's a
no.
You don't think so?
They don't.
They don't.
That's what we're talking about.
Works or Amelia? No, Saturday or Friday?
All of it.
Okay, so I've always thought that Works did a decent job. I mean, there were 6 different food trucks there last year.
It's a coffee truck, a donut shop, and I don't know,
and a
pita. I do love donuts.
Yeah.
I do love it.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing that I found too is they open you're getting there you have to be there at 7:00.
True.
I'm hungry not anymore, but I'm hungry at 10.
Yeah,
I want to eat. Or 11. I mean, they're like, oh, we can't open until it's 12:30. We're not ready yet, and it's just, I don't know. Now I sound like James, bitching, complaining, showing my age.
Well, you didn't bitch last week like we did, so you're feeling now.
Yeah, you got your soapbox.
we finished last week's episode. And we're like, fuck, we're just a bunch of old dudes curmudgeoned and bitching about everything.
Whatever works.
Yeah. So we'll have a good time. And, like I said, I'm going to take a 360 camera that I just got. And I know, Matt, you said you're going to take some. Maybe we'll do something just like a coverage. Maybe I'll send the videos over to you, or you can send them to me. That's cool. We can have one of our guys do
I may even attempt doing. I'm not really great at Instagram Live, but maybe I'll do a little Instagram Live while we're walking around the show. So.
Wow.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So, well, fellas, that's an hour and 8 minutes. So I think that was a good episode. You guys got anything before we do our pieces out?
Buy parts from Asphalt Killers.
There you go. Our one and only sponsor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for those listening, thank you for tuning in. Again, Whiskey Watches and Wheels for everything. Instagram, website, YouTube. Find us, hit us up. Got any questions or suggestions, contact whiskeywatchesandwheels.com. And we'll see you guys next week, all right?
See you guys.
Peace out.
Peace.